So almost everything I'm going to show you in the slide is entirely from last year. I want to show you the 4 C's demonstrated, like I say, from last year. The critical thinking, collaboration, creativity, and communication. And all of this I'm going to show you by demonstrating an element of technology. So I'm going to show you how critical thinking was done, collaboration, creativity, and communication was done with technology. So critical thinking, we'll start off. Just some of the ways that I think I showed critical thinking, and it was that I did tutoring with my classes last year. I noticed that grew at Lancaster High, and now a lot of people are doing that. I did AIDS training at Lancaster High last year, and a lot of people I noticed were doing that. So I seem to have these ideas that just are working and are growing. So I like that. As well, on top of that, I think outside the box a lot. Like we looked at this idea of doing a ESS geometry class because a lot of students in special education will take algebra 1A and then algebra 1B, and then they're forced to take geometry and they're not successful. So I collaborated with other teachers. Here's Ms. Kerr and Mr. Murphy and I all doing a hangout, Google Hangout, and Scott from the district office put us in charge of just trying to get an ESS class for geometry. I think that's one example of creativity, critical thinking. This has been a problem in our district for many years, but I thought of this idea. Well, let's with some other teachers, let's fix it. So another C would be communication. I use many communications tools. This will be illustrated by Padlet. You can see that there's many teachers here talking and communicating through Padlet right now. I also have been a presenter in this year's PD at Lancaster High School, identifying student success. And we had some pretty good feedback on that PD that we did. Close this right now. And then I was a presenter for the district's PD days. I will be 52 ways to check for understanding. And then the SDC Common Core Transition Goals is something that I led up where we could come up. There was a problem in that the SDC teachers were not having enough time to develop electronic portfolio binders, so they need someone to kind of organize them, and I was kind of in charge of that, and we have worked collaboratively. You can see the different teachers' names: Mr. Richard, Mr. John, Miss Dickey, Mr. Evans. So kind of led that up, and so communication and collaborative work is seen with all of these things. Also, communication, I think, is just being seen, making yourself available. So there I am at the 5K run, and I am playing basketball. But even grad night, and last year, this wasn't this year. Last year, I organized multiple potlucks so that we could just communicate and be in groups together. I think I'm pretty well respected. And then another way of communicating, even though it's more of a one-way communication, is through the website I made. I made a class website that have a lot of teachers do that. I have experience doing that. I think the biggest part I'm most impressed with it is probably the videos and games used in class. There's a whole section of stuff that we use in class that students could access. And maybe also, let's see, the classwork's kind of impressive too. Let's see if it loads. Because as I teach a lesson, there's web videos they can go on and watch if they didn't understand the lesson. So it's just something I'm familiar with in communication. I also think that I have positive feedback on the emails. I've had lots of emails. I just chose 3 of my favorites. Parents who will thank me for helping them out. You can read them on your own. Probably my favorite was this one right here, because the parent was just real. It says, "That's awesome. You have support from us parents because we know you care. You are in touch with parents, whether it be good, a good update, or not so good. And we appreciate that. That's for allowing these Saturday sessions." And she goes on to talk, but just communication with parents is something I like to do a lot. We've done plenty of Saturday schools for great results. Even parties came out of it where parents are just donating pizzas and supplies, and it's really helped the students a lot. And as far as communication goes, last year I was the number 1 our number 2 teacher with log entries, so obviously I'm keeping up on that. I was the second highest. I don't know who beat me. And of course, the district's behavioral specialist on site. So, collaboration, one of the other 4Cs, shared projects. I have a lot of that. I did a lot of shared presentations. I did the SPED conference last year with Carol. That was kind of fun. And we presented at the special education. Oh, there's a date right there. And then also the SDCB conference just recently. Ann Kerr and I checking for understanding with Edpuzzle and Kahoot, another technology type thing. So we've done some shared things, and I have many shared Kahoots. I think that's one I'm very proud of because we had to get creative with it. We took our data projector and our reader, and we aimed it at the camera so that her school couldn't see it, and we actually played against another school at Kahoot. And we've had many hangouts with students as well at other sites. So trying some interesting things in the classroom, to say the least. Then creativity. I like that I made up my own live text. Some of the Google 2 trained people know how to do this. It's very exciting. It's where you click on links throughout. And like my question was, how long would it take you to walk the Great Wall of China? I gave it as extra credit. And as you click on each link, it gives like, this is the astonishing facts. It's cross-curricular. And then, students can keep clicking on these different hyperlinks. It tells you different things. Like here's what would you do different, or what was bothersome after they watch some video or read something. I would ensure that some of the workers could pay off their debts at a quicker rate. Would be an example of an answer. So there's just different parts based on it, but it's all math based. So some students will send me links themselves so they took pictures of their answers so I can view their answers. And then I'll see when you give extra credit creative type assignments, you'll see students go beyond what you ask. I mean, students have made these PowerPoints, making their own conversions, making schedules to figure out how to walk the Great Wall of China based on its length and based on their schedule. And, they're realistic. They need to sleep. They know they need to take breaks. So they have to subtract that from, it's not just a simple distance equals rate times time. They realize there's curves in there. So there's a lot of math actually involved when they start thinking it through. And you can see that the parents like it because they said he sure enjoyed doing that one and was excited to tell me about it. So it's pretty cool. The same student even did more, just got really into it and started continually working on it. So pretty neat. And then I've done a lot of Edpuzzles too. I think that definitely shows some creativity. Not only did I create my own, you can see I used it a lot. You see me there in the Edpuzzles, but you can capitalize on the great minds that are already out there, like Malcolm or Khan Academy. And so this is something that I think is demonstrated with the 4Cs as well. Anyway, thanks for watching my quick video highlighting how I met the 4Cs last year with technology.